welcome to Silent Screams. Tonight, I'll take you on a journey, one that you might not be able to walk back from. You see, there's a story, one that's been floating around the depths of Reddit, about something strange, something disturbing, something haunting hidden in a simple Spongebob Squarepants episode, specifically, Episode 9, Season 7. You think you know the show? A kid's cartoon, right? Silly, lighthearted, full of laughs. But after tonight, you'll never look at it the same way again. And for some, it might be the last time they watch it. This isn't just a ghost story, this is a warning. Let me tell you about Paris, the city of light, the beauty, the romance, the history. But there's something darker lurking in the streets of this city, something that isn't often spoken about. The tale starts with a Reddit user, someone just like you or me, who stumbled upon something they shouldn't have. Something that, when watched, caused them to question their reality, their sanity, and for some, their very safety. They watched that one episode. Episode 9, Season 7. They didn't think twice, just another late-night cartoon, right? Until something began to change. It started innocently enough. The episode began to play like any other. SpongeBob and his friends, carrying on with their usual misadventures in Bikini Bottom. Nothing out of the ordinary. But then, as the minutes ticked by, the feeling in the room started to shift. The air grew colder, even though it was summer outside. The lights flickered once, twice, before stabilizing. The sounds in the room seemed to grow muted, as if muffled by something unseen. The scene on the TV began to distort just a little, faint static that wasn't there before. But that wasn't the most unsettling part. At first, it was just a few strange noises. Low whispers that seemed to come from behind the television. Not the kind of whispering you'd expect from a cartoon, but something other. Almost like distant voices, murmuring in a language you can't quite place. But as soon as you focus, it stops. Just like that. Only to return again moments later. But now, something's different. The shadows in the room, the ones cast by the faint glow of the TV, seem longer. Deeper. Stretching unnaturally across the walls like tendrils creeping toward you. The screen flickers once more, then jumps. Suddenly, you're no longer watching Bikini Bottom. No, now you're seeing something else. A figure in the background. A shadowy silhouette of something tall and thin, standing in the dark waters of Bikini Bottom's oceans. A figure you're certain was never in the episode before. And yet, there it stands. Watching. Waiting. It disappears as quickly as it appeared, but the damage has already been done. You feel watched. You feel as if you're no longer alone. And then, the whispers grow louder. Not on the TV this time, but from behind you. Faint at first, but unmistakable. A low murmur, like someone breathing down your neck. You turn, but nothing is there. Just the empty, silent room. And yet, the whispers grow louder. Closer. You try to ignore it, thinking it's all just your imagination. Maybe it's the lack of sleep, or the late hour. You return your attention to the screen, but as you do, the SpongeBob episode has changed. It's darker now. The colors on screen have shifted, becoming unnaturally saturated, as though the scene has been washed in a deep, blood-red hue. The characters look distorted, their features grotesque, stretched in unnatural ways. SpongeBob's smile is too wide, his eyes hollow. And then, you hear it. The laughter. Not the cheerful, silly laughter that's always there when SpongeBob and Patrick are together, but something twisted. Something wrong. The laugh echoes in your ears, sharp, shrill, almost mocking. It feels like it's coming from within the TV, but also from somewhere behind you, somewhere deeper. You try to pause the show, but the remote doesn't work. You stand up, walk toward the TV, hoping to turn it off manually. But as you approach, the screen glitches, and the laughter gets louder, closer, until it's deafening. You feel your heart pounding in your chest, your hands trembling. You reach out, about to turn the dial, when everything stops. The TV flickers one last time, and the screen goes completely black. The room falls into an unnatural silence. You feel your breath catch in your throat, your pulse racing. And then, the whispers return. But they're different this time. They're no longer faint, no longer distant. They are inside your head. Their words clear, but twisted, come closer. You freeze. The air grows cold again. You turn to look at the door, the window. Anything. But the shadows in the corners of the room seem to be shifting now. Watching. Waiting. You can't shake the feeling that something is in the room with you. Something that wasn't there before. But then, you remember. It's just a show. Just a stupid cartoon, right? But deep down, you know that the feeling hasn't gone away. You know something is wrong. You turn back to the TV. The screen is still dark, but there's something there now. A shape. A figure. It's hard to make out at first, but as your eyes adjust, you see it clearly. The shape is tall, thin, its limbs stretching unnaturally across the screen, as if the TV itself can't contain it. You step back, your heart racing. The whispers grow louder. They're coming from inside the TV now, but they're also coming from somewhere deeper, somewhere far off in the distance. Somewhere far below. You blink, and suddenly, the figure is gone. Just like that. Vanished. But the atmosphere has changed. The air is heavier. The room feels colder. The whispers grow more insistent. Closer. The door. You have to get to the door. You reach for the handle, but just as your fingers brush against it, the TV turns back on. And what you see makes your blood run cold. The screen is filled with nothing but static, but beneath it, you can still see something moving. Something is there. The whispers are deafening now. They echo in your mind, in your ears, in the very walls of your house. You slam the door shut and run. The cold air follows you. The figure, the shadowy silhouette, moves with you, no matter where you go. The door opens into the hallway. And that's when you hear it. The laugh. That awful, mocking laugh. But this time, it's not from the TV. It's behind you. You turn, but there's nothing there. Just a long, empty hallway. But then, you see it. The figure. The tall, thin shape standing at the end of the hallway, watching you. Waiting. Silent. Motionless. Your heart stops. You turn and run, but no matter how fast you go, no matter how many doors you open, it's always there. Watching. Following. Waiting. You can hear its laughter echoing through the house. You try to scream, but no sound comes out. And the whispers, they never stop. You try to escape, but it's always with you. You thought it was just a cartoon. But now, you're trapped. You are never alone. To this day, those who watched episode 9, season 7 of SpongeBob claim the figure still follows them. They hear the whispers. They feel the cold. And some even say they see the shadow watching them from their own TV screens, waiting. watching. And now, it's your turn. Stay tuned for the next part of this story. The darkness is just beginning to close in. Will you make it out, or will you become just another part of the legend?